like for you to look at me for a second. Put yourselves in my shoes. They're cute, aren't they? It's your 18th birthday, and you are absolutely ecstatic. It's like the intros to those early 2000s movies where music's playing in the background and you have no clue where it's playing from, but the main character's dancing around. That was me. I swear there was music playing from the sky. I can't tell you where it was. But I woke up and I was so excited because I had superpowers. I know you're probably thinking, what superpowers are you talking about right now? Well, I had what I thought was going to be the amazing superpower of adulthood. So I'm getting ready. I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to use my new superpowers? I could join the military, but I'm far too intimidating for that. Let's see, what else could I do? I could go and get a tattoo, but I didn't feel like giving my mom a heart attack on my 18th birthday. So that was out of the question. I got it. I can have dessert before dinner. But my mom was making my favorite meal that night, so that was also out of the question. So that left me with one final light bulb, the best idea yet. I was going to do what any other responsible adult would do, and I was going to gamble. I was going to go get a lottery ticket. I know, such a good idea, so responsible of me. So I walked to my nearest gas station with my friend, and I'm so excited, and I've got my ID in my hand, and I am ready. I'm going to show them I'm an adult. I'm going to show them my new superpowers. I was absolutely ecstatic. I walk up, I'm like, hey, can I get a lottery ticket, please? Dude kind of just looks at me, and I'm like, does he not know that, I'm an adult now? Hello? And, he asked me for my money. I'm waiting for him to ask me for my ID, and I'm waiting, and he just never asks. So I walk out, and I'm like, okay, either my superpowers are just gleaming, and he can just tell, or he just let me off the hook. He's not going to ask me for my ID. So we go to another gas station. I'm like, this is the one. He's going to ask me for my ID. Same exact thing happened. Never once asked me for my ID. And I wish I could tell you that I had some exact epiphany in this moment, but I didn't. In all honesty, I was just sad I couldn't show off that I turned 18 that day. But my epiphany did come a few days later when I was speaking to an adult at my school about youth mental health. I was speaking on how I felt like everyone at our school was burnt out because we didn't have enough breaks, and how mental health wasn't necessarily prioritized at our school. And the adult kind of slowed me down. They went, hold on. I don't think you know enough right now to talk about this. I think that once you're older, you'll understand a little bit more where we're coming from. And while I understand I need to understand her perspective, I was kind of like, whoa, I'm one of these people experiencing this burnout. I experience mental health just as much as you do as an adult. So why am I being written off because I'm younger? I don't understand. And this is where my question comes in that I want to talk to you guys about today. Why was it that I could walk into the gas station on my 18th birthday and buy a lottery ticket, no question asked? They thought I was mature enough, I was old enough, but the moment I tried to talk about significant change, an issue that we need genuine help around, I was written off as too naive, too young. Oftentimes in our society, when you're young, people believe that you know nothing, and that's not how it is. There's this false power dynamic that adults are up here because they have more experience on Earth. They're X amount of years old while we're only 13, 14, 15. You get what I'm saying. So we're down here because we have less experience. But this doesn't work because we're all experiencing the same exact things right now. We're all going through climate change. We're all seeing the wars that are going on. We're all experiencing mental health crises. It could go on and on. We're all experiencing the same Earth right now. So we need to switch the power dynamics where it's adults know more and kids can't really talk about these subjects to where it's evened out a little bit. How many times during elections especially have you heard people say, we want to hear from more youth. We want to hear more voices from the younger people. But the moment that younger people speak up, it's, oh, they don't know enough about this. They need to learn a little bit more. They haven't learned that in class yet. They weren't here when so-and-so is president, so they don't understand what happens when this goes on. No, it shouldn't be like that. We're here experiencing the same exact Earth that every other single adult is experiencing. I've had the incredible blessing to work for a youth advocacy organization the past 2 years called Colorado Youth Congress, which is essentially a group of 60 students all across the state of Colorado who gets together and they talk specifically about mental health and racial justice. When we get together, we're given full power. Like I said, it is youth-led. While the founder and the coaches are there to support us, they have full faith that we know what we're talking about and that the change we're asking for is change that is needed. They're just there as guiding factors, but they know that because they're adults, they don't have voices that overpower us. They have voices that can co-create with us. With my time in Colorado Youth Congress, I've testified to pass 2 bills. Little old me, look at me. I testified to pass 2 bills. That's amazing. I've worked with other youth all across Colorado to help implement better school trainings and things such as that. And all around, I've gotten to work with numerous people in power to just talk about mental health and to have these discussions. And unfortunately, I will tell you, we've had times where people have gone, oh, they're too young, or where someone in our call for Colorado Youth Congress will raise their hand and say, I love this new thing we're working on, but I'm nervous we're not going to be taken seriously as kids. It's a valid thing that we're concerned about, but I'd like to go back and point out to you, like I said, I helped testify to pass bills. I've helped implement trainings in the schools. So many incredible things because people trusted my voice, even though I was only 16, 17, 18 years old during my work with this advocacy organization. So this is just my experience. If we give more youth experience that I've gotten to have, where I can step up and share my voice and be taken seriously by most people, then we're gonna see such a big shift in our thought process with change. Kids and adults no longer should be on the spectrum of adults knowing more and kids knowing less. They should be evened out. I can assure you, if you are talking to a kid and they say something about change, if you talk with them rather than writing them off, you guys will come to a general consensus and you will actually get to really good solutions. Now, I'm not saying kids know everything. I still don't know why I have to separate whites from colors in the wash, but that's a discussion for another time. I'm just saying that instead of automatically writing us off as youth, you should talk with us, hear us out. We are experiencing and seeing the same exact things that you guys are experiencing and seeing. Just because it's a huge world doesn't mean that only one person in it is understanding climate change, or that only the adults are understanding the financial situation we're in. We're all understanding it. And if at any time a youth comes to you and says, this is what I believe on this topic, and you disagree with them, talk with them about it. If I went up to you and said, hey, the sky is purple, I really hope you'd tell me, yeah, Emeline, I think you're wrong there. The sky is blue. Don't just go, you're right, because you said I need to listen to kids more, you're right. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying co-create together. If adults and kids can work together, then we're gonna come to more head-on solutions. We're gonna see less of this conflict of disagreeing, of, oh my gosh, Gen Z doesn't know what they're talking about, and things like that, because if we actually talk to each other and agree with each other and try to work things out, then everything's gonna work out and we're gonna be able to find a solution. If more kids can have the chance that I had with Colorado Youth Congress, then we're gonna see so much more come to life with that. I mean, think about it. Us kids one day are gonna be the future president, the future state legislative. We're gonna be doctors. I'm hopefully gonna be a forensic psychologist. The list goes on and on and on. But if we're not given the opportunity now to state how we feel and the positions that we're in, and if you don't trust our values, how are we supposed to grow up with confidence and to be in those positions and feel heard and trusted? We're not, because we weren't heard and trusted when we were little. Just because we are kids does not mean that we do not know anything. So today, if you get anything out of my talk, it's 1, don't buy a lottery ticket. I only won $4, and it was very unfortunate for me. And 2, the most important thing that I'd really like you to take out of this talk today is to co-create with youth in your lives. If you're a teacher, talk with students in your classrooms about what's going on. Hear them, hear their opinions, hear about their take on mental health in the classroom. If you're a parent, hear your kids out. Talk to them when the election's going on. If they don't want to talk about it, they don't have to talk about it. But if they have a voice, don't just write them off. Don't go, oh, honey, like, I don't think you really know what you're talking about. Don't say that, because we do know what we're talking about. We just have a different perspective on it. Please, please, please do not write us off because we are younger. Adults and youth have a lot in common, and once we actually talk about that, we'll see that. I've gotten to do amazing work with Colorado Youth Congress, and I wouldn't be here speaking with you if it weren't for them. And it's because they saw me for more than just my age. They saw a young girl who wanted to fight for change, who wanted better mental health tools. And same as the other 59 or so kids in Colorado Youth Congress, they saw the same exact thing. And we're fortunate to have people that see us like that, but there's so many kids in our world that don't have that. So today, please walk away and talk to the youth in your lives. Tell people about this. Say, hey, maybe we should shift this power dynamic. And I can assure you, we can see great things come from it. Thank you.